Hi guys, welcome back for another one. It's another week, it's another set of roster reviews, and I got Maverick Ag 06 with me today to do many more roster reviews, and we're going to kick this one off with two special roster reviews in this episode. So Maverick, are you ready to get this party started?
Let's do it.
All right, with that said guys, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So first up today, we have Predacon. He is looking for future plans to putting resources into his Doom Raid characters, Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4. Predacon is a light spender, 441 days in the game, considers him a late game player, so it's pretty much accomplished everything at this point except for Doom Raids and getting Dr. Doom. So that said, let's jump into his MSF.gg. All right, like we do always, we're actually going to filter these by Doom Raid traits, and we're going to talk about Dark Dimension as we go through this. So first thing we have up here is his bio squad, which is looking like the 6 best bio characters you can possibly have at the end of the game. He's on the right track. It's definitely going to take more an investment than what he has currently to get Doom Raids done. But what are you seeing here? What tips you give him? Because obviously these are the same characters you use for City and Dark Dimension.
Yeah, I mean, you use mostly symbiotes in City and Dark Dimension. You can't use Phyla-Vell in City. But yeah, the symbiotes are going to be your Dark Dimension viable characters for City for sure, at least for now.
Yep.
Looks like Cloak and Dagger are probably going to be in that mix, when we get them sometime in the next month or so. Yeah. But for now, it's symbiotes, and then Phyla-Vell works really well in the Doom Raids, dropping Venom, as he's got Venom the lowest anyway. So take your first 5 and use those as a bio team is what I'm currently doing right now in Doom Raids.
Yeah, if I see anything, maybe he has too many strikers on his symbiotes currently. 3 of them are strikers at this moment. So I don't know if that you'd want to change that. I ran Phyla-Vell for the first time in the boss node in Doom Raids, the base difficulty, and replaced Venom. And I was actually pretty happy with the result of Phyla-Vell in that spot. So first time I've gotten hands-on experience that, yes, she does do a pretty well job in that boss node. I don't know if I'd still replace her in the first 2 nodes leading up because I've done that already, and I really didn't like the result. I really like the result of the symbiotes. Is that kind of your similar experience, Maverick?
Oh, I mean, honestly, like, I dropped Venom for Black Bolt in the first 2 nodes of City. But I also have a very large Black Bolt. I would not bring him up for that purpose.
Yeah, not.
But I use Black. I use Black Bolt to do that, and the pings really are nice to help finish off characters. It's mostly about, like, say Phyla-Vell, Black Bolt. They're about additional damage that the symbiotes aren't giving you.
All right, so let's move on to the next trait. That is Mutant. Mutant, it's pretty much there's only 2 set teams. He obviously has a lot of work to do here. Astonishing X-Men, which I see Jubilee unlocked at the very bottom of my screen. So she's not unlocked, so that's not a possibility. What else can he do while he's waiting for Jubilee? Is there anything he could do, or is it just basically kind of prep and wait?
I mean, if you're talking about Doom Raids, you can run the Dad Bros with Emma and Sinister and Bishop and have that work decently well, or maybe that Strife. But, realistically speaking, you need Jubilee so that you can run at least Bishop Beast Jubilee with whether it's Kitty Pryde and Iceman or the Dad Bros. It's looking like that the Dad Bros variant is not going to hold up at 1.1, so that you're going to need Astonishing X-Men or insert mutant team down the line here. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Scopely, so yeah, there's probably going to be something else.
Yeah, we definitely don't know what's coming with Mutant. There's 3 mutants that looks like that are on their way next patch, and we're assuming they're going to be a war team, not a raid team. But I honestly, at this point, my recommendation to anybody watching this is probably just hold off. If you're not desperate to get Doom Raids in, hold off on your mutant investment to see exactly where these 3 new characters plug in. But speaking about Dark Dimension, outside of that, we got Sinister, Emma, Phoenix. And you could possibly even do Longshot and Shatterstar all in Dark Dimension if you choose to. So those are all really great characters to build up. And then when you do get Jubilee unlocked, makes a good option for that legendary section in Dark Dimension 4.
Absolutely. That's exactly the recommendations that I would make.
Yeah, and then the last thing to mention before we move on is multiple man for the city nodes. He doesn't have a very strong multiple man, but I don't know if multiple man really needs to be strong to get the job done. He's more there for the distraction, especially Scream's passive can pair with multiple man pretty well if things play out, a certain way. So
you got to build him a G14 eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's only a placeholder until you get enough alien spores to drop him.
All right, and let's move on to the next Doom classification, which is Mystic. He's already got Deathpool pretty up. He's definitely struggling with red stars. This is not the first character I've seen with low red stars, but only 441 days into the game, so it does make sense. You're still in that period of you're starting to get more 4 stars on your roster naturally, but you're still struggling to get those red stars overall. But he's got a Surfer waiting for him. He's got he's got Hella vested into. She doesn't make the best Doom Raid character. She's kind of squishy. If they can touch her, she goes down. He's built up Thor. I don't know. Maybe there's a reasoning behind that. But what else do you see here?
The problem here is that there's no Adam Warlock and there's no Doom unlocked yet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the long and short of it. But quite honestly, what he's got is going to be okay. I wouldn't invest anything more into Thanos or Maw or Hela.
Yeah.
You can keep going on Deathpool. You can keep going on Silver Surfer. And then basically everything that's not unlocked right now besides Ultimus, you can theoretically use in the Doom raids. Cloak and Dagger seem like that they're going to be required with Deathpool. Doom, it's the raids are named for Doom, so I always would recommend using Doom in the Doom raids.
Yeah.
And then you've got Surfer, and Adam Warlock has a great kit, especially for a 5th when paired with Deathpool, because you get lots of stuns and ability blocks off with all the energy that she gives off on every enemy kill.
Yeah, I mean, he's a light spender, and I don't know what his budget looks like when it comes to spending on this game, or even spending for new characters. But Cloak and Dagger, if he does spend for these, or just like a minimum, whatever the investment is, of course they might be $50, which might be a little above his budget. He's a light spender. But if he gets his hands on Cloak and Dagger, he may not, to do Doom raids, you may not need Doom, you may not need Adam Warlock. It's Cloak, Dagger, Deathpool, and then Surfer, maybe Thanos, maybe Ebony Maw. I don't know if it's going to be necessary. I think you're going to be able to. I think more people are going to be capable of doing Doom raids without Doom, with Cloak and Dagger and Deathpool going forward.
At base difficulty, I would agree with that. I don't know that that's exactly the case at higher difficulty levels.
Yeah, until it's tested. Yeah. The other thing that I also want to throw in here is anyone that's probably now I don't know where he is in the grand scheme of things. The other thing to really think about is, and this is, I guess, I'm doing this live, so Maverick, you're going to hear this for the first time either, and you're going to have a reaction to it. With Dark Dimension 5 right around the corner, and Dormammu being the reward of that, most likely I see him being a Mystic character, and it's possible he may slot in to replace Doom. I think that could be a possibility. I don't know until we see his kit and what he actually has. But I mean, it's very possible that Doom could be pushed to the side for New Warriors, Dormammu, and maybe Surfer over Doom. But that's being theoretical and speculating, and that's still months away. That's only applies to people that are really probably 100 so days still away from getting Doom. I would say you're probably in that category where you may be able to just skip Doom altogether. It seems weird saying that, but what are your thoughts on that? Because that's the first time I've thrown that out there.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's a synergy with Mystic villains, and you want to put Dormammu and Doom together.
That's possible also. So either way, like I said, this game is gonna be changing, or I should say drastically changing here and the rest of the here and end of 2021. So stay tuned. It could change if you're really early game. Recommendations could change, but I think Cloak, Dagger, Deathpool, or a lock in this category. And I think that's all I have to say. Anything else you want to add before we move on?
No, I think you're right on the money.
All right, let's go skill. All right, skill is pretty easy. The same thing we say all the time, right? It's Secret Avengers, Kestrel, and whoever you want your 5th to be. And he's already got Gamora and Moondragon already built up. Anything else that you see for him that I'm missing? He does have Maria Hill. Oh, he does have Maria Hill unlocked. Oh, he didn't score enough in the Blitz. Oh, just shy.
So, I mean, Maria Hill's going to do a lot of survivability, accountability there.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Maria Hill. My recommendation is Night Nurse. Nothing if for no other reason, just to keep your team afloat.
Yeah.
But Moondragon and Gamora that'll work too, because Moondragon has enough healing. So I mean, you can run Kestrel, Gamora, Moondragon, Sharon Carter, Sam Wilson as your 5.
Yeah, he's in good shape for this one.
He's in good shape. And then Doom Raid, or excuse me, Dark Dimension, Kestrel obviously. Basically, I could talk myself into almost any of the 5 characters that he would be running in Doom Raids.
Okay.
Plus even Baron Zemo if he's looking for a cheaper option. For global. But yeah, I could talk myself into pretty much anybody. The only absolute what are you doing if you don't is Kestrel, but he's also a top 3 character in the entire game. So
yeah, all right, that's good for scale. Like I said, there's not a whole lot you have to talk about anymore there. Tech is still the one that seems to be a mess overall. Definitely, you probably need a team solution sometime in the near future for this one, but he's got Minerva, he's got Kestrel. We're not even going to mention Star-Lord or Rocket. I don't know where those came from. Probably a Dark Dimension 2 run. Nebula, I've heard good things about Nebula. But outside that, he really has some investment he needs to do. And he's got a Doc Ock sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Ock needs to be on this team if for no other reason that he has his functionality in keeping you from getting offense down. He has some healing in it as well. I would, my personal, if I was going to do this, at least for now, I would run Minerva, Kestrel, Doc Ock, Shuri, and Ultron as my 5. Ooh, I mean, if you really wanted to build your heroes for hire, I could see you getting away with Misty Knight in this section as a 5th. Okay. But realistically speaking, it's just a matter of keeping everybody upright so that Kestrel can do your thing until you get Doom unlocked.
Yeah. And just wrapping this up with the Dark Dimension talk, Kestrel's a great option. Minerva's still a good option for Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4. I find that she's probably a little bit more on the replaceable side with today's cosmic characters. Like, you can run full Infinity Watch in Dark Dimension 3. You can run them just missing Adam Warlock in Dark Dimension 4. So that's kind of the Dark Dimension characters. Doc Ock, you definitely want him for Legendary DD4. Shuri's completely optional. He does have 6 red on her, so her survivability will be better.
The only other one I would say is Ghost. Ghost is a great option for global. Yeah,
it does plenty of damage and automatically applies offense down to the opponents on their turn, so that's kind of awesome. All right, and that's pretty much Predacon. We kind of went through with your just doing Doom Raid, but giving you Dark Dimension tips as we went. Before we jump into our next roster review, first, if you guys are interested in getting your roster reviewed by Maverick and I'm going to show you guys how to do that here next. Are you interested in having your roster reviewed by Maverick and in this quick format roster review, helping you out in a game mode or two? If you are, all you need to do is join my Discord. The link to that is in the description down below. Then all you need to do is find the video section, find roster reviews, and there you'll find the latest roster review application where you can submit your request to have your roster reviewed by Maverick and in a YouTube format. So if you need help clearing any content in the game, don't hesitate, apply today. And our next roster review today is by The Buffalo, another light spender, 398 days in. Another one self-identified as a late game player, so they're looking for Dark Dimension 4 advice and war. So we're going to focus mainly on Dark Dimension 4 in this review, but Maverick and will go and look to see what they have on their roster and give a war tip, each of us, as part of this roster review. All right, we are in here with The Buffalo's roster. We are starting with City. We just do everything in alphabetical order around here. So for the City category, obviously there's been nothing progress to level 80. Maybe they're going in order of like global, cosmic, and then City. So maybe we'll see more level 80s as we go. But right now, they haven't touched a single thing. So it looks like they are looking for some kind of advice. Symbiote Spider-Man and Anti-Venom and Scream are pretty much a lock. Well, I was going to say Doc Ock, but that doesn't hold true for City in DD4. So outside of needing symbiotes, what other 2 characters would you throw on here that you could recommend based on what they have, like star power wise?
Well, as we've talked about in the past, Multiple Man is a character that you're going to need to get to eventually,
Yeah.
and has a little bit of Greg-like tankiness in terms of like why you use Hela in the cosmic nodes, or at least it used
Yeah.
to have the dupes take hits for you, and then I mean realistically, the next city characters I'm recommending are Cloak and Dagger, who aren't in the game yet.
Yeah. I'm just looking over the
Though
red. Yeah.
I've seen some success with Shang-Chi
Yeah.
in the DD4 nodes. Not myself, but I've just seen visual proof. Philosopher, I believe, had a great video on Shang-Chi and
Yeah.
DD4. So
Yeah, I was looking over his Red Star situation. It's not, it's not great. That's for sure. Because I'm like trying to find characters that would be good options just based on Red Stars.
I
But
would not. I wouldn't. I will say this: I would not bother with Merc Riot Guard at 7 red. I wouldn't bother with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I'm not seeing anything there. So I was thinking about the White Tiger Night Nurse, but to see that get done, I don't know if that's going to be. Where is Night Nurse? White Tiger's is Blitz exclusive now, so getting shards of hers should be a little bit easier for the overall player base to get if you're opening orbs and not trying to buy characters directly out of the Blitz store.
Right.
Yeah, other than that, all the other characters that are good characters are just low red stars. So, I mean, he could invest in Heroes for Hire. They do translate the war defense if he's really into war, which this person did mention they like war. So, that's a possibility. Other than that, you pretty much you could go with 3 symbiotes until you get more alien spores. That's pretty much where you're at. Or if you this is a light spender once again, if it's in their budget, Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, if you can do it, Cloak and Dagger are gonna have the stat boosts relative to everybody else because of the massive power creep that the newer characters are getting over the older characters.
Yeah.
That they're getting a lot of stat advantage. So even a 3/3 Cloak would probably be as good, if not better, than some of these characters at higher stars.
Yeah. The one thing I saw today, and I'm seeing it very prevalent as we do these roster reviews, is people that have only played for like a year, how much they struggle to get like 4 red stars on their characters. And there was this really great Reddit post where someone asked today, like, hey, all veteran players, how many characters do you have at 3 red stars or lower? And the responses from veteran players, you really realize that not many of them have very few characters at 3 red stars or lower in this game. So it is something that happens over time where you naturally just get all your characters to 4+ red stars. Sometimes you might miss out on a new character too, but overall, because of how many red stars you get over time, eventually that stuff starts to fade out. So it's pretty neat Reddit post to see, and just something I want to remind the viewers at home of. Early players, red stars are an issue to get, and you should, as an early game player, expect to have red star issues. All right, so let's move on to Cosmic. Off to a pretty good start, to be honest. Kessel's already done, so that one's a lock. Longshot and Shatterstar means this person's got 6 red on Shatterstar, got 5 red on Longshot. Surfer, 3 red Surfer can help out Dark Dimension. He's not going to be like almighty and all powerful, but he will survive and he will do some things, ability block and so forth. I don't recommend Hela. I'd leave Hela alone if I were you. And I don't know what else do you see. I'm not seeing the recommendations for a 5th. They could just do Gamora.
That's a 7 red Gamora. I would definitely do a 7 red Gamora.
Yeah, and then there's a Death Pool down there that's not looking bad either.
Phyla-Vel. There's lots of there's lots of options in Cosmic.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and finish off the Dad Bros.
Yeah.
Farm your Gravitonium, finish off the Dad Bros. Surfer, Kestrel, Gamora, Phyla, Deathpool. Those are all viable options right there.
Yeah.
And I bet that he will probably get to a 4th star on Silver Surfer. And I don't know if he has a 4th red waiting for Silver Surfer or not. Is that a 4th red?
Oh, yeah, it's 4th red, yes.
A 4/4 Silver Surfer is going to do just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine. So,
and I'm assuming they're doing Doom Raids already, so this person should be collecting some shards of Surfer every week.
Yeah.
All right. Great. You're in great condition for Cosmic. Let's check out Global. And we have... Ooh, okay, this is the first one where I've actually seen someone actually go after Secret Avengers for Global Dark Dimension. Cap Sam, Sharon Carter already done. Ghost is done. Sinister's done. Actually, this person has more than enough to just start plucking away and getting Global done right now, if you ask me. they stacked themselves up for some, or at least Jubilee is a legendary, Phoenix is a legendary, maybe. We're gonna review legendary here next. Emma's not far behind as another character. Is there someone down here at the bottom that we're overlooking? Doom's obviously not unlocked yet. They're still plugging away at it. Honestly, they're in great shape for, I mean, global. It looks like they need to start turning their attention to finish off their cosmic and start working on their city. What's
Yeah.
your thoughts here?
The only other thing I would say is if you're going to run Captain Sam and Sharon Carter, especially Captain Sam, if you have the ability to add more skill characters, the synergy is going to be great. Whether that's Maria Hill or Baron Zemo, you're going to get a lot more speed bar and synergy with skill characters. So that would be something I would consider.
Okay.
But he's got enough to get going, and I would probably work on something else right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just the forum will definitely get the job done. Ghost and Sinister alone, doesn't matter who this person finally takes to, as their fifth character. Obviously, skill gives more synergy, but they're in great shape. Great shape. Ghost doesn't really need the red stars. It would be nice to get him on there, another one on her, but not needed.
Correct.
All right, let's go take a look at legendary. So looking at this person's legendary, they don't have any level 80 legendary yet. So I guess, like I said, they're probably developing characters in order as it goes. I think you need Phoenix. Yeah, ooh, his Ebony Maul's not looking good. 3 red on Ebony. Oh, I don't think he's going to stand upright very long. The Jubilee, Doc Ock. What are your thoughts here? Definitely missing some red stars. I mean, like I said, once again, a player barely been playing for more than a year. Red stars are going to be an issue, but legendary is going to be a little bit more of a grind for this person. That's what I'm feeling right now.
True. I think there's some ways that you can mitigate that a little bit. I mean, Jubilee is going to make it easier just with the stunts and the blinds.
Yeah.
And I would probably maybe even wait a little bit longer to try legendary to make sure I get 5 in there, and not worry about Black Bolt and bring along Invisible Woman if no other reason for the added sustainability.
Yeah.
Should make your actual DD4 run quicker. And that's kind of what I would consider doing.
All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's good enough advice. Great job on leaving your Star-Lord at level 1. Not many people have that restraint. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Maverick and I, we're going to take a look at this person's roster overall. We're both going to come back with a war tip for this person. All right, Maverick and I have had time to look at the Buffalo's roster overall to try to find some war tips. So overall, what I found is that, and I'm pretty sure Maverick's going to touch this too, is that when we look at complete teams that are known for their war offensive power, it's some of the things are just missing is like the synergy with like getting T4s that help with synergy. Like one of the things I looked at was Shadowlands. They're all evenly built across the board, but some of these traits work better offensively if like they're like some of the passives are T4'd. So they're missing some of the essential T4s in here that make this team really work well as an offensive juggernaut to take out a lot of teams in this game. So like that's something to look at. There are some other teams that have passed by. We took a look at X-Men with Phoenix. Like there's no really X-Men team around Phoenix, so Phoenix is soloing. So how are you using Phoenix offensively, defensively? It may be better to run her defensively at this point since she's by herself, as trying to get your opponent to waste an attack just to get Phoenix to turn dark so they can go in with a second attack and then clear off the rest of it. Sometimes just getting that defensive victory like that is a win in itself. So that was some of the war tips that I seen. Really take a look. There's really good useful tools out there. MSF.gg has a bot that really shows you like war counters to certain teams you see a lot of. Definitely take some time, look that up. If you're not familiar with that, the Buffalo, please reach out to me. I can show you how to use it in my Discord server to really start helping you, give you some ideas of how to get you better offensively at war. And there's some good defense stuff in there too. Maverick, what did you take away?
Yeah, I think the thing that he really needs to look at when we're talking about war offensively specifically is that you want to make sure that your damage-dealing characters are going to be your higher CP characters. And realistically, when you're looking for battles, you want to match up the CP of your damage dealer versus the CP of the more hardest character that you're facing in whatever battle you're trying,
Yeah.
to make sure that they're at a level where they have the damage to take down that character. Don't worry so much about the total CP, because that's incredibly deceptive. So make sure that, you know, when you're looking at your 7 red Gamora, does your 7 red Gamora have the damage to take down a Doc Ock per se? Not that I would use that against Doc Ock, but it often is the case that people underestimate, especially in Sinister Six. They look at the overall TCP and don't realize that the half of it is in Doc Ock. So I would try to always try to match the CP of the damage character, like your best damage dealer on that team, with the CP of the most difficult opponent on the opposing team, to make sure that you're going to be able to have a good chance of actually winning the match.
Yeah. I guess one more thing before we end things here. I just happened to look at Affinity Watch, and I know we looked at this in between scenes and forgot about it. Like, Nebula not having a T4 into her passive is what really makes the Infinity Watch do a ton of damage. So like just like that. So there are guides out there. Like I said, if you need more help, the Buffalo, like finding these guys like that, please let me know. I'll put you in the right direction. And help you like find where you need the essential T4 lists and stuff are from, to really help you out in war. But with that said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this roster review, do us a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy these roster reviews, don't forget that notification bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.